8:12 on a wonderful start to a Wednesday morning. Welcome to it, April 26th of 2023, Season 2, Episode 214. Welcome to the club. Andy V. and Mark Thomas. We're live and local weekday morning, 6 to 9. The information to begin your day with a smile or two. And we've got, more smiles on Wednesday mornings because it's week 2 of our new feature on the club, Wellness Wednesday. We welcome in the creator of the Long Life Era community on Facebook, Marla Renee Letizia, better known to the folks that know and love her as Nanny Bubby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right.
NannyBubby.com, spelled just like it sounds.
Nanny Bubby.
Yep.
.com.
Last week we set the stage on what you hope to accomplish with the Facebook page and wellness in general, because as we all begin to age, we sort of get forgotten by the younger folks. They seem to think when we reach a certain platform, let's say 55. And I use that one because my dad retired at 55 after working 33 years, and he still had a lot of years left, but a lot of times they just forget about you.
Yeah, I think we live in a culture that believes that anyone that's in their long life era is on a slippery slope towards their demise. And when we look back at 55 or even look forward to 55, you really realize how young that is. And I really want to make this point, and I don't know if I made it last week when I was here, but the baby boomers in America is the largest generation ever born in this country and really in the world post-World War II. And today, let me backtrack. The generation that came after us was much smaller because birth control had been invented. So there's no generation that's ever been as large as ours, and even today, we still are the largest generation on the planet. 73 million of us are still spending money and still living actively in our long life era. And yet, 55 plus ratings, demographics, retail has forgotten us.
Well, and that's also the age group that has had the time to accumulate a certain amount of wealth, typically across the board, I would think. Why do you suppose an advertiser would think, they're not going to buy anything? They've got it, but they think they would have everything?
So I'm just going to say this again. I think that the culture believes that we're on a slippery slope towards our demise. And what is being advertised on behalf of our generation looks like my grandparents. It does not look like me or the kids I went to school with or anybody actually in this
Or whatever
age.
you're buying gets sent to your house in a brown box that's unmarked so you don't embarrass yourself. I find those advertisements hilarious. We'll mail this stuff to you in a box that's unmarked so you won't be embarrassed by it. It's like, what are you guys talking about?
What would be an example of that? Like medications or?
What was that?
What would an example of that be? Like
I think ED medication.
ED medication, or if you're buying Depends, for some reason, if you buy that in the grocery store, you're supposed to be embarrassed when you go through the checkout line. So now you can buy that and they'll send it in a brown box to your house so you're not embarrassed anymore.
There you go.
I find that astounding and laughable at the same time.
But it's also actually thinking that everyone in this generation either has ED or needs Depends, and that is just really not the case.
That's true. But you hit on a point which is very important, and we're beginning to discover it, having come out of the pandemic. The baby boom generation is the biggest universe of folks, and as we begin to retire, the folks that are supposed to be coming in on the other side taking the jobs, they aren't there because it's a smaller generation. So they need us actually to work longer, and there are folks that retired early that are coming back to work because the workforce needs the older folks.
Well, they do, and there's another component to that, which is in the 2007, 2008, 2009 Great Recession. We lost a tremendous amount of our retirement. Our 401ks became 201ks. And as a result of that, those of us that might have retired earlier have not.
Marla Letizia is the founder of Long Life Era Facebook community. Reframe your own long life era from a crisis into a calling. This is Wellness Wednesday. She also answers to Nanny Bubby, and you can find her online at nannybubby.com. Is there any one particular thing or saying that makes you bristle when you hear people say, I've given up that dream, or this activity I used to love, I'm too old for that, or I don't feel like I'm able to do that anymore?
Yeah, when I hear the words, well, at my age, I'm not going to necessarily do this, or I'm not going to necessarily do that. And really, when you think about it, if you look forward to something, anything, if you look forward to anything, you create excitement and it causes you to have youthful energy. And I think that's really what we're talking about here, is that if there is anything in your life at this age that you have not done, sometimes in your own head you'll say to yourself, oh, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to create that, I'm not going to try that, because I mean, really, what if I don't have enough time left to actually be a success at it?
I see.
And that's a really negative thing to put in your head.
I sort of flipped the script on that in reference, because as you get older, you realize the most precious commodity you have is time.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff. Like, you know what? I don't have time for the negativity. I don't want that in my life.
I love that.
Here's what my focus is. So if you want to, be mired in this stuff, that's on you. I'm going to move off to this. So the time element for me is not necessarily negative. I realize none of us has any idea how much time we have. So use the time that you have judiciously.
Correct. And let me ask you this, Andy. Tell me one thing that you never got good at throughout your your life up till now. One regret that says, gee, if I had had time to focus on that, I would have been better at it. Or one thing you want to do that you haven't done yet. Just one thing. Silence and radio, guys, not a good thing.
Well, I can tell you, I wanted to play in the NBA. I've given up that dream. I'm 55 years old, and I think that dream's probably passed me by.
The one thing I'm probably going to do, and I'm thinking about it now because I am carving out more time for me personally because of some personal circumstances, is, and Mark and I talk about this a lot. I'm a music nerd. I grew up going to music stores and getting lost all day long reading liner notes. And Mark and I have guys that that are great musicians that I respect, because people that can create things from whole cloth, I'm amazed by. I'm probably going to go, learn how to play the drums, because I think
there you go.
Drummers are fantastic people, and there are a couple of drummers that I admire and have followed their work, from reading liner notes when I was a kid back in the 70s. So
there you go. You're going to learn to play the drums. Let's talk about your NBA dream.
Well, that was in high school, yes.
Okay, but there's no reason to give that up, because there are teams, your age group teams that are playing, that have, they have all kinds of tournaments and different things, and you can get on a team. And what did you play? What position?
Point guard.
Point guard. So I'm telling you, they're looking for a point guard in those leagues, and you can still play.
Yeah, 55-year-old white point guard, I'm your guy.
There you go, why not?
And why not?
Why not? Since you asked Andy, and it's funny that you bring this up, because you started talking about music. I had this lifelong dream of even being a rock star. Started playing guitar when I was 15 years old. Never quite made it for whatever reason. And this 4 years ago, at 51 years old, I finally got to play live in front of people. And I thought that dream had just passed me by. I'm 51. Who's gonna, want to do that? So I joined a church band, and I'm one of the oldest volunteers, to be sure. And I used that as an excuse not to pursue it. Also, I'm like, well, everybody else is 27 up there. I won't fit in.
And so, do you play guitar?
I do, every other Sunday.
So I have someone to hook you up with that would make a great duet partner for you, if that's what you call it. I mean, not a duet, but what do you call two guys that play the guitar and sing together?
A duo.
That's
a duo. There you go.
Like
Thank you very much. I
Oates.
have somebody amazing. I don't want to say his name on the air right now.
I'll take that
but
off
I
the air.
should. Do you know Tim Quillen?
I've heard the name.
I'm going to hook you up with him, because
advertising.
Music is his thing.
Really?
I love him.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I want to say this. We haven't spoken about nutrition this morning, but mindset is just as important as what you eat and what you put in your body. So we're discussing mindset right now. Nutrition is really important. So I want to start here with this. I have a free download for your audience. It'll be there through eternity. So I just want to give the URL for this. It's nannybubby.com, nannybubby.com/theclub. And there is a shopping list that will get you through the grocery store in a matter of minutes, the way you fill that out. So that is a free download to all the club members that are listening this morning, nannybubby.com/theclub. Go get it. Do we have time to talk about the shopping list?
Yeah, go ahead. Roll through it. Yeah.
Okay. So when I first, always became mom, a wife, and I would have a little grocery list hanging on the refrigerator with a magnet, and we're out of milk, put milk. We're out of cheese, I put cheese. I need romaine, put that up. I need cereal. But you take that list, you go to the grocery store, and then you go to this aisle, and then to that aisle, then back to that aisle, because you're following the list in order, right? And then you skip something, I missed that, I gotta go back over here. The shopping list is put together by aisle. And I will tell you, a 45-minute shopping trip that would normally take me 45 minutes because I was cooking for a party and an event, took me 17 minutes into Trader Joe's and out. The list is put together basically on how you would travel through Trader Joe's as the example. 17 minutes out the door.
Yeah, they're not liking you because they want you to linger through the store and buy stuff you don't need. So.
Yeah, but you shouldn't have to do it at the cost of 3,000 steps.
Yeah.
Although that's probably...
Unless you want to.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea for
and
your
if you
health.
want to, that's quite okay.
Yeah,
So, free download.
There you go. And you know, when it comes to your wellness, I mean, for me, and Mark and I have talked about this previously, because my one guilty pleasure was drinking Coca-Colas. And I was drinking like a 6-pack a day, which is like 1,800 empty calories
Yes.
of caramel-colored sugar water. And I just decided one day, you know what? I'm not going to drink it anymore. And I haven't had, and I don't miss it, I haven't had a Coke in a year.
You went cold turkey on that.
Just
Yeah.
like that. Just woke up one morning.
I just decided,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
because,
tell me why. What was the mindset behind that?
I just didn't like, well, first of all, I drink coffee, and if I don't drink something that has caffeine in it, I get caffeine headaches. So for me,
Right.
the excuse was I'm drinking the Coke because it has caffeine in it. And I thought, you know what, coffee has no calories, so if I want the caffeine, I just drink the coffee, and I got away. And I missed the Coke for a day or so, but you know, I go to the store now, and I just walk through that aisle, and I don't think twice about it.
And so, how many years did you drink it?
Oh, forever, as a kid. I grew up drinking
Okay.
Cokes. Not Pepsis, Cokes.
Cokes,
Specifically
yes.
Cokes.
I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
And also, without trying, how much weight did you lose from
Um,
stopping 6 times 1,800 is
Yeah,
what?
I've dropped over the last, you know, and part of this is because I'm also an in-store shopper, and I walk around and I do at least 10,000 steps a day. I'm down about 25 pounds from where I used to be when Mark and I first started doing this radio show.
Which was how long ago?
Coming up on 2 years.
Yeah.
Oh, mazel tov.
Yeah.
Happy anniversary.
And
Thank you.
I've hit a plateau now where I have to do what you're talking about. I've got to manage my diet a little better and eat better,
So-
portion control, and better foods.
Well, that's true, but let me just tell you something. We should get into this. I'm going to just hold this book up, so if you're watching live on Instagram, you see it. It's called Deep Nutrition, and I will tell you one of the biggest things that is causing inflammation in your body are the vegetable oils. So let's go down the list. Canola. Have you ever eaten a canola? Do you know what a canola
No.
is?
No, cannoli.
I've heard of
yes.
cannoli, yeah.
Yeah, a cannoli.
Not
Exactly.
canola.
That's what I thought it
Yeah.
was at first too, right? I didn't know. What is a canola? There is not a vegetable. There is nothing called a canola. And the way that the seed oils, the vegetable oils are processed is what causes inflammation in your body. So if you don't blame butter for what canola has done to the human body, the canola oils, right? Stop using anything but olive oil and avocado oil and butter. That's it, nothing else, and you will see that the inflammation beyond the 25 pounds that you have lost in your face, in your muscles, in your middle, will literally suck right down. So this book is called Deep Nutrition by Catherine Shanahan, Dr. Catherine Shanahan. It is a great book that addresses all that. And throughout the weeks here on Wellness Wednesday, we'll take a deep dive into this and help people get to better health in
Cool.
their long life era.
It's amazing how quickly the time has gone.
Already looking forward to next Wednesday.
Now, we're going to give out the Facebook page yet again so folks can jump on, because this is a participatory page. You want people to chime in and jump in and tell their stories too.
Yes, well, I do want to say last week when I left here, over 10 people had joined Long Life Era Community on Facebook, the Facebook group. So thank you for that. And all of you listening, go back and who haven't joined, go join it, especially if you are in your Long Life Era. And to get the free download of the shopping list, it is nannybubby.com/the club, and that's it. Download it. The link will be there through eternity, so you know, if you forget for a few days or a few weeks or even a few months or years, it will stay there forever.
Thank you for brightening our day, Nanny Bubby. Have a great week.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
guys. Bye.
Cool. That was great. It goes by really quick.
Yes, it does.
And I'll save the facts for next week. We didn't even use those facts.